Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Lock, Foundation Disc Golf Weekly Podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Trevor and Konner, and it's Worlds Week.
Woo!
So we're going to talk about Worlds, obviously. We'll go back over our power rankings just so you know where they're at going into Worlds.
Yeah,
We'll do a little Trevor's
Because
trivia.
everybody was so happy with them, we just wanted to bring them up again.
Yeah.
Oh, Robbie C. DM'd me something about that I'll have to bring.
We'll
up
bring
later.
it, yeah. And then we'll get into some news that broke last week. And I have a new app I discovered that I got to tell everyone about. Because I'm very curious
that's
on how
not
it
an
develops.
ad.
And that's not an ad.
Yeah.
Maybe someday. Let's get into some sponsors.
This is one.
It's called Angry Birds.
So many disc golfers have tons of extra discs cluttering up their closets and cars. There's very few storage products on the market that are designed specifically for golf discs and that don't waste any space. And unfortunately, the ones that do exist are terribly expensive. But now there's finally an affordable option thanks to today's sponsor, Discbox. Discbox is the only low-cost disc golf storage product on the market. You can go to discboxdg.com and you'll find quantity discounts, wholesale options, multiple colors, and most importantly, no order minimum, so you can order just as a single box if you want. Visit discboxdg.com today and get your collection organized. Use code GRIPLOCKED for 10% off your order as well. We also have a new sponsor alert. They were a sponsor last week, and they came back this week. Support for today's episode comes from True Classic. This brand new sponsor has the absolute best fitting tees that a man can buy. I'm wearing the navy one today. Finding the right t-shirt with a little bit of a dad bod is incredibly frustrating, and most t-shirts are either way too tight on your gut or look way too big and boxy. You're not in high school anymore. It's time to upgrade. True Classic already has helped over 2 million men finally get a better fit at an affordable price, and our listeners can get access to the best deal they offer. For a limited time, get 25% off with the code GRIPLOCKED at trueclassic.com. Almost all men's t-shirts are designed to look good on skinny models with six-packs, but most of us aren't packing that kind of six-pack down there, if you know what I mean. Fellas, you're wearing the wrong clothes. True Classic's tees taper off towards the bottom, and they fit tighter around the chest and shoulders, so it's time to highlight your best attributes with a t-shirt that you can confidently throw on. You can probably confidently throw in.
And you can throw in it as well.
Disc
golf.
True Classic doesn't stop at tees, though. They're your one-stop shop for men's essentials. Super easy and simple to fill out your wardrobe, from polos to workout shirts, and the same flattering fits to boxer briefs designed with a pouch to keep your bulge nice and comfortable. All of their gear is top-notch quality at a reasonable price. I'm also rocking their hat today. Very nice hat. It's about time you learn how to dress yourself properly, so upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic and get 25% off at trueclassic.com with the code GRIPLOCKED. Free shipping's included on purchases over $100, and it's a 100% risk-free guarantee with a 30-day return policy.
Dang, dude.
So you can stay classy with True Classic.
25% off is banging. That's
That is
really
banging.
good because they're already pretty affordable
And
shirts.
your banging dad bottle, thank you.
Hunter, I will say that you do look like a 1992 Arnold Schwarzenegger right now.
I almost just dislocated my shoulder.
Yeah, that pop.
That hurts so bad.
Somebody get this guy a pop filter.
Jeez.
What was
Worlds. I tried to come up with a world soundtrack, and I just went with the graduation pomp and
Yeah.
circumstance.
Yeah, and it took a while for you to shift notes. I thought you were just making a
I started
humming
too
noise.
high. I started
Yeah.
too high.
I felt like I was watching Teletubbies. I've never seen Teletubbies, but that's what
You
I
know
feel
what? That is one thing that none of the disc golf majors have really done yet that could take it to the next level is an anthem that you play.
Oh, that's a good idea.
During the coverage when the B-roll's going. Think about
Who
the
runs the
Masters.
worlds?
Yeah, that. Can we? Let's edit that song to make that the anthem and suggest that to the PDGA.
Just replace girls
Yeah.
with the worlds.
Who runs the world?
Who runs his mother? Worlds.
But I'm saying
that's
the
so
Masters
funny?
has that really slow piano tradition unlike any other thing. You have the Champions
Georgia.
League has a really good anthem. I think that World should make an anthem.
Who runs the
They
worlds?
should probably-
They should get Hans Zimmer to make it. They can probably get him, right?
Hans Zimmerman.
Maybe they can get Zahn Zimmer, his brother.
If Worlds
That's
had
his
an
name.
We're
anthem,
getting Corey Wong.
If
Corey
Worlds-
Wong's gonna make it.
hey,
That's
man,
fair.
dude, don't come after Corey, dude.
I would never. If Corey Wong
Connor,
makes it,
Corey,
it's
if
gonna
you're
be him
listening,
holding
Connor
a,
does not like you.
If it's gonna be Corey Wong making it, it's gonna be him holding a strap, being like, oh, bam, down, bam, down, bam, and no one would understand the music because it's
okay, if you had to pick a Worlds theme song right now, you can't edit it.
I'm picking the Shakira Africa
That's
song.
what I was just thinking.
She's going to jail, bro.
She's going to jail.
Connor, what do you
For
picking?
tax fraud.
What are
All
you
the
picking,
Spaniards,
Konner?
man, they always end up in jail for tax evasion. I don't know what it is.
Can't say that.
No,
Konner,
it's always either soccer players or people related to soccer players because she was married to one. I swear, I've seen it so many times.
It was controversial and it's ever been said on this podcast.
Yeah, what the
And I
frick?
said I didn't like Germans last week.
Konner, what song are you picking to be the theme song for Worlds?
Oh my goodness, I would have to go with. I want to choose something classy. You know.
You could just do like the Rickroll song.
Yes.
Never gonna give you.
That would be really funny.
I'm gonna just search the word Worlds and see what the first one that comes
What
up.
about "We Are the World"? Like the fundraiser song they did with all the celebrities. A couple times they've done it.
Oh, I'm gonna do what is this song?
I don't know.
The Christmas song
Don't play it though.
where it's like
Christmas shoes.
no, they all like came together. It's like you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It was like a bunch of artists came together.
You're talking about "We Are the World." It wasn't a Christmas song. It was to raise money for like when there was a tsunami.
no, there's
Look
a
up "We Are the
Christmas
World."
one. That's not what I'm thinking of. It's the same idea, but there's a Christmas one.
You're talking about there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time.
Yes,
Really?
yes.
The words of that song are so offensive.
Really?
Is it really? Do they know it's Christmas? Band-Aid, 1984 version. That was a bunch of people together, right?
I have no
There
idea.
won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. The only just look up the words to that song and just read them. They're like it's not necessarily. It definitely could be offensive because it's like wow, that's just. I don't
And it's
even know how to-
Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid. At Christmas time, we let in light and we banish shade. And in our world of plenty, we can spread a smile of joy. Throw your arms around the world at Christmas time.
Get to the chorus.
But say a prayer, pray for the other ones. At Christmas time, it's hard when but when you're having fun, there's a world outside your window, and it's a world of dread and fear, where the only water flowing is the bitter sting of tears. Jeez. And the Christmas bells that ring are the clanging chimes of doom. Well, tonight, thank God it's them instead of you. That's brutal.
yeah.
That's not right.
Now
What
get
is
to,
going
get to
on?
The chorus. Get to the chorus.
And there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. The greatest gift they'll get this year is life, where nothing ever grows, no rain nor rivers flow. There's rivers in Africa.
He's just like assuming that everybody in Africa has a terrible life.
Do they know it's Christmas
What
time
in
at
the
all?
world, dude?
I'm pretty sure. Even like
Have they ever been to Wakanda, dude?
It's so catchy. Dang, never mind. We're not doing that. We're not doing the first Band-Aid Christmas one. All right, I'm going back to. We're going back to.
guys, this is script log.
No, I'm picking a world
But
song.
this is World's Week. We can do whatever we want.
Okay, I'm going to my pump up playlist.
right now.
Who
I'm just going to my pump up
World
playlist.
Worlds? Let's just take every song with the word girl in it and replace it with,
Oh.
with worlds.
Uptown World.
We'll go Hall of Fame by the
Town
script.
Worlds.
Hall of Fame by the script.
There we go.
That's the world's theme song.
Somehow I feel like they'd actually pick that. That's gross.
Because I think of the James Conrad raising it as he's standing in the Hall of Fame, raising the trophy up. I could see it.
Yeah, I could, and I don't like it.
All right, well, Worlds returns back to Emporia for the first time since 2016.
If you're still listening.
Yeah, this is the first place. Ricky won his first Worlds here by 6 strokes.
Worlds
Aw.
just
This is-
wants to have fun.
This is also the site.
That's even better.
This is also the site of Valerie Jenkins' 4th world title. Do y'all remember that? That was wild.
Yeah,
When
the fact that
won.
she actually won another one, like everybody thought she was past her prime, and
Yeah,
she's
well, that
stinking
was
one, dude.
so. That was also in the Fierce documentary. If you haven't watched it yet, she was told by Innova because she was going to Innova, right? And she was asking Innova like, "What do I need to do?" Like, they wouldn't put her name on a disc, and they were telling her the reason why was that a female's name would make a disc sell worse. And they said, if you win
that
4,
actually happened. Like, how
Yeah.
have it not been canceled?
they said if you win 4, we'll put your name on a disc. So she won 4, and she picked. I forget which disc she
The
picked.
Valk.
Did she pick the Valkyrie?
There's definitely 4-time Valks.
No, because there's 4 times Starfires. Is what she ended up with.
Her name was on a Valk. There's Valerie Jenkins Valkyries.
Valkyrie Jenkins.
So
The Starfire is definitely what she ended up with.
okay, but there was one in our used section. It was old though. I feel like it was like a 2-time. Find an image. Find an image.
What's the
I swear to
Starfire?
you, there was one in the used section.
Where do you say Starfire?
Starfire,
I just know the
Starfire. I don't see it. I searched Valerie Jenkins Valkyrie.
What the frick? I'm gonna keep talking.
Anyways,
I'm gonna try and find
the
it.
disc that she picked, Enova told her, no, that disc is too popular. We can't put your name on it. What about the Starfire? And so that's when she went to Discraft and got her name on the Thrasher.
Dang.
That's when she left Enova. But that was
Dang,
2016.
Unless it
That's
had
26.
like
That
It
was
had
a long
Juliana
time ago.
Corver's name on the Valk.
maybe that's what it was, but I could have sworn.
I mean, it was in 2016.
Because that was like Paige was already in her prime.
I wonder
Everyone
how
expected Paige or Kat to win, and then Valerie Jenkins just like, guess what?
Oh.
I'm back.
is it okay? This is what it was. Maybe it's Corver's name on there. Yeah, okay, it was Corver. It was so
Corver was on
faded.
the Valk.
It was so faded. I assumed it was Val. Wow, that's
Think about
crazy.
in 2016 how much smaller disc golf was.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I was at the 2016 Worlds, and when Rick won, he had one-time wristbands already made. It was threw them out to the crowd,
Dang.
and then I think he put on a hat that said "one-time world champ" or something
That's
like
pretty
that.
sick.
He had a
That's-
bunch of merch ready.
That's so Rick. I bet it was the
That's
flattest
good.
build hat you've
It
ever
was
seen.
2016
Isn't
was
it
Flat Bill
crazy
Boys.
that Rick
He had
doesn't
to
wear
use,
hats
he had to use
anymore?
bobby pins to hold it on the back of his head.
Rick only hat he wears now is the bucket hat. Bucket hat Rick.
Look at that, Rick.
Well, let's
He,
make
look,
a.
he does look good without a hat.
I think
His
we make
hair's
a
looking
prediction
good.
right now,
Oh, the bucket hat's definitely coming out.
but I think only the last round.
I hope so. He needs it to last round.
I can't
Yeah.
wait to
Last
get into
round.
predictions. This is the most confident I've ever felt about
All
my
right.
predictions.
I think
before.
bucket hat Rick definitely comes out last round.
They played Jones East and Country Club for Worlds in 2016, which now they're playing Jones Supreme, which is at the Jones
The
East.
worst
thing.
first hole in all of disc golf history.
Yeah, let's talk through that. So
It's
they added a
so
wall to the back
bad.
to try to make people want to go for it
matter.
more.
Doesn't matter.
It still doesn't matter, I don't think.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, we watched Ezra and Brody's practice round. Obviously, two solid disc golfers, and it took them like 8 shots to get one on, and a lot of them weren't even close. It's a really hard shot.
Well, they also, so for their doubles match against Mason and Emerson, I think 2 out of the 4 made it. Mason and Brody made it, and I think Ezra and Emerson
Here's the
missed.
thing: it's not a bad disc golf hole. Don't
No,
get
it'd
us
just
wrong.
be like 17.
Yeah, but as a whole one, you should never have like
Yeah,
half the
that's-
field or more going out of bounds or laying
Yeah,
up on the first hole.
That's not a good. That's not a good look for a
No,
whole
yeah,
one.
you want like the excitement of the event to like come through in the first
What
drive.
do you think is the best first hole? I think hole 1 should be like a par 4.
Yeah, I think par 4 with a
Where
pretty easy tee shot.
The tee shot can't really go OB.
Yeah.
Because then everyone can step
Well,
up, just get
look
one
at,
and play.
Look at the country club.
The Country Club's not a bad one.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
what I'm
good
saying.
starting
It's
hole.
just kind of just a hyzer.
I
like
kind
to
of
me-
like a par 3 for hole 1 because it's exciting because no one's going to take a huge number, but
A par
you
3's
either
fine.
park it, you either park it or you don't. And
I just like the
Some
idea
part,
of like
it's,
you just announce a player
I like them just being on a rip.
and they can just rip one and it's just
Yeah.
like fun as the audience to watch. You don't have to worry, like they can let loose. You don't have to worry about where it's going. None of that. You don't have a first you don't have that awkwardness of next on the tee, Connor Kennedy, and then you turf and you like
Yeah,
throw,
they
you don't
announce you
park
as
it
the
and it's like
5-time world champion.
and no one
Oh,
claps.
yeah.
It's just like this awkward
I guess I get that.
That's what I'm thinking because like Emporia Country Club, there's basically no drive that's gonna be like, ooh, that was awkward.
It's pretty tough to mess one up there. It's like it's the same way at Des Moines. Their first hole it was kind of just a hyzer. Like it wasn't there was
Yeah,
an OB,
but it's a
but like it
fine-
was a hyzer.
Because then the second shot's hard enough that
Yeah.
there's still score separation.
Yeah. I think the first hole, like, it's mind blowing to me because most of disc golf courses get the first hole. Like I can't think of any other first holes that are like such a crime as this one. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's
and
pretty
then
rough.
and then they watched it. They watched it be so bad during DDO and like it was so awful, and then they just kept it. So that
Well, they added a brick
I want to know
layer.
what's whoopty. I want to know what sick twisted mind like is backing that hole because somebody who's like in charge of things is like loves that hole, and they need to be stopped.
Well, it's
Would you
gotta
say-
be- it's
would
gotta
you say the
be
person that
EMAC.
wins with the person that
Probably
wins
EMAC.
world. Are they getting hole 1 first day?
Yeah, I'd say if you don't get hole 1 first day, you're,
You're
not
not
winning
winning.
worlds. So you just start crossing off the list as soon as they start teeing off. Oh,
They played the same courses for the DDO. There's apparently some minor tweaks for Worlds, but it's essentially the same.
Yeah.
Like minor tweaks, like we're talking, as far as from what I've heard or seen, is like they added the extra brick layer on hole 1. They might have just tightened or loosened some OB here and there, but it's pretty much the same. But it's going to be completely different because the wind. Let's
Yeah.
actually go ahead and look at
let's get
Emporia
an early
weather.
wind forecast. It's definitely going to be
Emporia,
lower than
Kansas
it was
weather.
in the spring.
All right, let's go wind. So Worlds, the rain and everything's moved out. Tomorrow, the wind high is
Weather
9
looks
mile
good.
per hour. Wednesday, 5 mile an hour high wind.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
8 mile an hour Thursday. 8 mile an hour Friday. 7 mile an hour Saturday. 9 mile. They're not playing on Sunday.
Yeah, there will be a
That's
breeze.
practically
but
no
There's
wind.
basically no
yeah,
wind.
there's
So
none.
these courses are about to get shredded.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking.
I'm here for it. That certainly plays this to some players' strengths. We'll say that.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be completely different than like you can't like if you look at DDO, obviously you had Ricky won, Simon was up there, Paul missed the cut. Like there's a lot of weird
It's
storylines.
not going to
DDO.
translate. As
Not
much
going to
as
be the
people
same.
think.
Yeah, because
Now that
the
being
win.
said, Rick might win, and so like
Yeah.
don't get us wrong there. But
No.
like you're not going to see guys getting chewed up the same way they did.
Exactly, because that was the tournament that led Drew Gibson to tweet that thing that was like, we need to change, like there need to be a maximum amount of wind we can play in because like at some point this isn't disc golf.
Yeah, he tweeted that about the weather at Idlewild too. He's 2 for 2 on the weather tweets this year.
Yeah.
We start calling him the weatherman. That's
funny. Like a Drew Gibson weatherman.
Drew the weatherman.
stamp.
I mean, he's got a point. The wind was pretty ridiculous.
It was because I think what the biggest difference was it took putting out of the equation because no one was
Yeah.
running like 60 footers. There's no
my
reason
favorite
to.
event. When a wind gets up like that, I get excited. The last event we ever played, the wind was like so ridiculous that everybody was laying up from 20 feet, and I think I took like third.
Yeah, I felt at home.
Yeah, it was great. Like it was a great
Wasn't
time.
it? Oh my gosh, what was it whenever it was super windy and Eagle threw this roller that rolled so far and kept on rolling and went into like the street or whatever? Do you guys remember that? It was a long time ago.
It was at Glassblown Open. There was one at
It was like years ago.
GBO, that downhill par 4. Eagle threw a roller off the tee and went OB long. And it was like it's a very long hole.
This one was like it was going and then it like stopped.
Yeah, it like
and was about to
turned
fall over,
and then
but then
turned
it like, whoa,
back.
and then go. Yeah,
Yeah, it's that one. He went OB like long left somehow on his drive.
yeah.
And like that should not be possible. Because most
was-
people are like
I just-
300 feet out on their drive. and he
watching
just kept
that
going.
was like it was like you were watching a comedy sketch.
Yeah, I remember that. It was rolling slow too. But a lot of fans have been rumbling about the courses and how they feel they're boring to watch.
They're not the most exciting courses in the world, but
yeah.
it's part of that. Here's something I've learned about disc golf. Like now that I've been able to travel and play disc golf a little bit, is that disc golf courses, and this is the same for just traditional golf courses, but it's a little different with disc golf. I think because disc golf there's less terrain management going on. The location of the course has a lot to do with it. The natural terrain. Like if you're playing a course in a location that just has distinct and signature terrain to it, that's why when we go to the Northwest, it's like crazy looking up there. Or even when you play at Vegas and it's kind of like the desert feel on the golf course, or, and so on and so forth. Like that is playing in the mountains is a big one. That is very important. So when you're in flat Emporia, Kansas, nothing against Kansas, like that's just the terrain. So courses that aren't even bad courses are going to look boring. Like, when they're playing those courses out there, there's nothing too exciting about them.
Yeah, well, Brody took to Twitter and like kind of defended them because he was saying like
not bad
He's like, I
courses.
don't know how it comes across on camera, but like it is challenging.
Yeah, and the
to
country
the
club
top level.
has always been a great
People
course.
just get sick of seeing golf courses.
Yeah,
I think is what it is with the country
and
club.
I get that.
What are you about to say?
I have
Konner?
a question for you guys.
Question us.
Question.
And so with the course layout and everything of Worlds, do you think that it's going to be a proper representation of who the best player in the world is?
No,
Why?
because there's no woods.
There's no woods golf. I think it's.
I just wanted to hear your opinions on that. I
Yeah,
thought it'd be a good
it is.
conversation.
It's a weird one because
That is a very good point.
because
though.
disc
Worlds,
golf
I mean,
is evolving to a more open sport. But I think we talked about this last week, but I agree with Hunter on this one. And I think Worlds should make their identity that I don't remember if this was my main idea for Worlds, but this is one of my ideas for Worlds, is that they should always feature a woods course and an open course.
I think that
that's what
makes
I
a
was
lot of
gonna
sense.
so that
'Cause
we get a bit of both, because woods golf,
It's a whole different game.
yeah, it's completely
And
different.
so you woods golf, no offense to Eagle, but it makes him statistically less likely to win.
Yeah.
Because like he struggles more in the woods than in the open.
Yeah.
Now, has he proven that wrong in the past? Absolutely. He's still one of the best players in the world. But I think that having a Northwoods Black and an Emporia Country Club at the same event, that would show a world champion.
I might have considered Chris Dickerson.
I think if you were playing woods and open 5 rounds, I'd like to see it go woods, woods, open, open. I think that's how I'd like it to go.
I think that's fair. And because, I mean,
Yeah.
the issue with Jones Supreme and The country club is, they don't play similarly, but they
look
require a
similar.
similar type of golf kind of.
Yeah.
Like they both require a more open, like the dangers, the OB. Jones definitely has more trees, but it's not a wooded course at all.
Yeah. There's not.
It's not like you have to hit this tight window. You know, it's requiring a very specific shot type of golf.
I think what people don't like per se about open golf is when you're watching wooded golf, you get so much more context for the line of the disc because you can see it weaving through trees. When you're watching open style golf, your only content on the first guy who throws on a hole, like you really, especially if they're zoomed in a good bit on the disc, you really don't know what's happening till it lands. And then you can kind of take that context, like knowing how much it flipped, and apply that to the rest of the people throwing on the card. But it's harder to get that idea. I mean, you see, Hunter and I both watched the Tour Championship this past weekend, and the amount of tools that they use to give you context for where the ball is, that's 3D
like side map
where it's showing the flight of the ball with the tracer. Like they do as a good of a job as you can do with golf to give you, they'll do tracers and they'll give you the best one they do, I think, is they give you the arrow. This is their target in the distance. And then you can see the tracer and see if it's lining up with that. But they do such a good job with that. Like that is something that disc golf, has an advantage in, but you lose a bit of that advantage in the open courses compared to the woods. Because the woods, it's quite obvious because you can see the disc shaping itself.
Yeah. Well, I think also woods is more fun to watch from a viewer's perspective a lot of times because scramble shots look so much more impressive. Like if you're 200 feet out on a wide open course, it's going to be like a little forehand or backhand hyzer. You're getting up and down. You're 200 feet out in the woods. You might still have to throw some weird flex line, or you might just like straddle out and
hit a
hyzer.
gap.
You know what would be cool is if the Pro Tour technology gets to where they can do like the superimposed lines, like first down line technology type thing. But if they could do that to like a shot lands, you watch a shot land near the basket, and then all of a sudden you see the circles pop up. So you can see like context of how close it is to the basket. Because sometimes that's
it's kind of
misleading.
like in
or like an out of bounds line. A disc
on the
lands
Tour
and line
Championship,
pops
they
up.
had like this is the range his ball's expected to land in, and they had like in the fairway like 310 to 325, and it was like this area. They're like, this is where his ideal drive would land, and then you could see the tracer come in. Yeah, and like he would land in that and roll out or whatever. So you knew, oh wow, that was a great shot.
That would be a cool thing to add to their package because it'd be really cool for out of bounds too. Like a disc lands, and then you like. I don't think like it should be necessarily. I don't want to see like artificial lines during the shot, but afterwards to give like, okay, this is where that disc is.
Very tough for them to add, I think.
Yes.
Live. Post, very easy.
No, it's serious VFX
but live
work.
is very very tough.
Well, I think another reason why it's really easy to do that with like football and stuff is because the field is green, so it's like almost like a
they also have lines that they can just.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's a very. I feel like. And also software
like
would love.
Yeah, say it's really the
No.
fact that they're using billions of dollars.
No, that has nothing to
Because
do with it.
money's but a number.
Well, I feel like
First
editing
down
software though
technologies.
would love like no matter where you're filming at, you have basically a grid in front of them, and like I feel like a computer understands that
Exactly.
very easily because you can just like tag to track these 2 points, the 2 hash marks. And it's like, oh, just draw a straight line between those two.
Yeah, it's pretty
Simple.
It is pretty incredible because nowadays, I mean, they're throwing up all kinds of stuff, but
It's so
I think the way that the Pro Tour could do it is after everyone drove, almost bring up like a shot map, like how ESPN has in basketball, where you see where all the shots are. Like on the side, like have the T sign, then have like their initials where their disc landed on the T sign.
The T signs would work. I think it would be, and this is something that UDisc needs to do in the future, but it would be awesome to hire somebody out. We're playing a course. Okay, it's your job to give us a basic 3D map or maybe even 2D map of each hole. Because now we can use
a virtual remake of the whole.
Because now you can use it for like what you just said, like a shots were just thrown. Here's the map, but also UDisc can use it for their shot tracer. Because now we're not just seeing putting from here off the fairway. They can just like literally point, like click. Okay, this is an X marks a spot where they landed on the map.
That would be super.
That's because that's something the PGA website does for their live scoring, and that would be like that's like the next level.
Well, that's like how you watch basketball games when you're at a wedding.
Right, and you see the shots pop up from the location.
Yeah, you just like sit there and just like line by line.
That's the
like
ESPN app
assist,
for it, yeah.
OB or like OB. Wow, foul. He's shooting free throws, but you like see, you're just like
Where it's all
you can watch the
happening,
game as close without watching the game, basically.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
football, it works really well. You see that little pass go up in the air on the thing. Yeah.
It'll be very interesting, though. Worlds will still be very interesting because I do think the courses will challenge players, but no, I don't think it's going to truly show the best overall player in the world because there's no Woods challenge. But
that being said, if anybody within the top 5 wins, like that is doing justice, really, and one of them is probably going to win.
most likely, the best player will probably still win.
Yeah.
But yeah,
5 rounds, you know?
5 rounds.
5 rounds
tough
is very
courses.
interesting because
5 rounds.
that
is a
gives,
lot.
that's one for guys like Paul who are playing from behind a lot this year, more than usual. That's one extra round they've got now.
Yeah.
To catch you.
Because like Paul typically has been having that like one incredible round,
Yeah.
but it's like not quite enough.
Yeah,
if
now
you
he
give
has
him an incredible round and it's like, okay, but you got one more now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be
Yeah,
enough.
there are certain players that play from ahead a lot more, and some that really like sneak up the leaderboard, and those guys are now have an advantage.
Yeah.
The slow starters, if you will.
The week started with this weird page situation.
Bro, craziest thing ever. That article was wild.
So this is actually
They
the
should have called the
Ultiworld.
documentary "Turn the Page."
Nice.
Turning
This
the
is actually the
page.
Ultiworld article because the Emporia Gazette is what broke the story, and it wasn't the best journalism you've ever seen because it seems like this was kind of a non-issue, but how the Emporia Gazette made it was that there was a situation
They
that
made it-
involved
yeah,
Paige
but-
Pierce that got the cops called on her at Emporia Country Club.
Yeah,
That was basically what they said.
Bro, somebody at the Emporia Gazette has it out for him. It's a sting job there. That was
But
That's rough.
They have
essentially,
it out for clicks, is what they have. it out for.
where is?
a good point.
I mean, this is a long explanation, but essentially, what seemed to happen was that Paige showed up to play the country club. It was closed, but someone like one employee like gave her keys to a golf cart.
She
Different
thought she had
employee-
permission.
Yeah, she thought she had permission.
Well,
so she
for
was
all
playing.
intents and purposes, she did, and a member called
And
her.
then the different employee was like, no, but a member called the cops on her. But by the time the cops got there, it was all solved with the other member because it was basically just like, no, I got keys. And it was like one employee got her keys. One employee was like, no, you can't have keys.
This is a big
It was
misunderstanding.
a big misunderstanding.
Not a big deal at all.
Why I wanted to bring it up was I thought that the PDGA director of competitions comment on the situation was interesting, depending on how you read it. So Jeff Jaqua, I believe is his name, he told the Emporia Gazette, he said, I can't express enough our disappointment on our organization's end. Sometimes these players just get a little too demanding and don't understand the amount of work it takes to make these events happen and the partnerships that are created, and we don't like damaging partnerships.
Do you want to know the craziest thing ever?
It just sounds like he was coming after Paige.
Yeah, he just
do you
was
want to know
throwing
the
Paige under the
craziest
bus,
thing
sounded
ever
like.
is that the PDGA are supposed to be for the players, and they hate the players because the players are critical of them. And the PDGA is like, we can never do any wrong ever. And I don't believe they did do any wrong in this situation, but like, you are effectively like, it's almost like it's almost like the players need a players association. Like there
I
needs to
think
be.
they have one because I think Yuli's the head of it.
I never even heard of it, but they need somebody to stick up for them because like this happens in pro sports. Like the leagues are run by the owners and governors and commissioners, and they kind of like think for themselves. And then you have the players association who thinks for the players and creates collective bargaining agreements to like make sure the players are taken care of and spoken for. And like the PDGA, man, they are very quick to throw people under the bus.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. They just chuck people under the bus.
I originally read I can't express enough their disappointment on our organization's end. I was thinking he was saying from the PDGA,
Yeah.
like,
And then he said these players.
yeah, I was thinking he was
just
saying
just
like,
say it was a big misunderstanding. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to. That's the thing is that there was no reason to just chuck Paige under the bus
Paige
like that.
showed up to play a practice round, and to be fair, the course being closed is not a huge deal because it's not a few days before the World Championship.
Right,
It's a
no.
week in advance,
It's
and the
not-
course is going to be open Tuesday through the World
This
Championship.
whole situation was nobody's fault. It was just a misunderstanding.
So it's just the Monday. It's apparently a common thing for golf courses to be closed on Monday to members only.
Nice ones, yeah.
And so that's what the Emporia Country Club was doing. Their typical Monday because per PG rules, they don't have to have the course ready until Friday. So this Monday, way in advance, the country club's closed, period, unless you're a member. And so Paige shouldn't have been out there, but she showed up and got keys from someone, and she's like, oh, I can play. She has no idea the course is closed. So she's playing, it's just a misunderstanding, as the article said. Like, it's very easy to see how it happened type thing. But then for the PDGA to just be like, sometimes these players get a little too demanding and don't understand. I'm like,
and we know
It sounds like he was just like ranting.
he's
and was
that
like, Wait,
that
you're
statement.
You're a reporter.
That statement is totally directed at Paige too because of her comments. She's been critical about them in the past about like them not doing enough.
yeah.
And so that was like you could literally apply that statement. Like they don't like Paige. Like it, the PDGA man.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting.
They
but
get on my
I can
nerves.
agree because like the rest of this article does talk about somehow like Paige and like Nate Perkins were like a little bit frustrated. But that of course wasn't ready that early.
That's not true.
That's
though, yeah.
fair. But because they were saying where the sport's headed, like we need more than 4 days to get ready for a major. Completely fair statement. And we were talking about on debate night a little bit, and how I explained it to Brody is I was like, what I think is 4 days before the event, the course needs to be truly set up, like banners.
But
you
it
know
should
where.
be open early.
But maybe like 7 days in advance or 6 days in advance of the tournament starting, it needs to at least have the lines, like temporary lines painted or something which they do have now. Because they were waiting, and this is also makes sense in Emporia's head, they were waiting to come back and fully finish lining when the Parks and Rec and everyone had done their final mow before Worlds on Thursday afternoon.
That makes a lot of sense.
So that they didn't paint and have to go back and redo all the work, and the course didn't have to be ready per PDJ guidelines till Friday. So like, why am I going to go do it? But after they talked to the players, Dynamic did what Dynamic does, and they went out and they lined them to make sure. From what I understood, it was already flagged, but then they went out and went ahead and just painted it to be like, all right, we'll come back and just repaint, but here we go. Go ahead and paint. It doesn't seem like it's going to be anything like last year where they had lines changing overnight. I don't know if y'all remember that at Utah.
Oh my gosh, the bunker thing.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna.
Wild, bro.
That will not happen. I would be shocked if Dynamic did something like that. But yeah, it seemed originally like a bigger deal because let me find the headline I saw. I shouldn't be. Yeah. Disturbance involving pro disc golfer being monitored. Paige Pierce of Plano, Texas, reportedly had to be escorted off the course after an alleged incident on the course. The Emporia Police Department, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that sounds
It's like
way,
that sounded like,
that
oh,
sounds like
what
way
the
more
heck
of a
did
deal.
Paige do?
Yeah, it sounded like Paige like broke rule, like wrecked a cart into like was like out there joyriding or something.
Yeah.
like she just was trying to go.
When she was
practice
just
the
trying to
course.
play a course. But
you got-
I wanted to still bring it up because I thought the PDGA's assumption that Paige was in the wrong immediately was very interesting because like Dynamic didn't make it like in that article. Everyone else had like was like no comment because they were obviously waiting. Like that doesn't make sense. We're waiting. So no one else talked to the Emporia Gazette, and the PDGA was like so disappointing. You
Well,
know these
to be
players are
fair-
just so demanding.
Like
To be
yeah,
fair, it
sorry,
sounds
sorry,
like-
everybody. Like our silly players, like we the PDGA, you know, like we would never. But like
To
our
be
silly
fair,
players.
though, it does sound like the Gazette, like, obviously that's how they portray things, is they're trying to make it sound as aggressive as possible. So whenever they went to the PDGA, maybe asking for a statement or something like that, they might have posed it as, are you aware of what one of your players did?
That's
and made
fair.
it
But
sound
if
like
you're
it
not
was a
aware,
negative.
I'm saying I haven't heard yet. Let me talk to the player and get
Yeah,
back to you.
you're,
It is
no,
what-
you're
yeah,
right.
they're just
You're
I'm
right.
not. You don't say on record as representing the organization.
Yeah.
Our stupid little players. You
Yeah.
know, they really don't understand what goes into this big stuff. They just don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, when they grow up, like you know, they'll mature and understand.
The
But
PDGA does a lot of like a lot of this like
they do word vomit.
They do this like you just don't even know what we're doing. Like you don't
Yeah.
understand how difficult it is.
That's the
Well,
whole
then-
problem.
Then
we
tell
don't.
us.
You ask for $75 a year and we don't know. That's the whole issue.
Because all I've ever heard is like all of the stuff that requires money for them is like the amount of like computer work and like that goes along with like the sanctioning and the rating system and all that. And it's like, well, I don't.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, but like
But-
invest to streamline that or something.
Yeah.
Do something.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Give me a free
Hopefully-
T-shirt when I sign up for $1 million.
Hopefully that's the only thing we get from this week. Hopefully that's the only like weird storyline. But had to bring that up.
You know
I
how
do think.
cheap you could get a T-shirt if you bought them in the amount of bulk. Just give us a free T-shirt.
Well, I
Hashtag free T-shirts for the PDGA members.
Personally, I would rather have my membership cost, even if it's $5 less, than get a magazine every month. Like that should be an option.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like save money.
Spoken
not
like
get the
somebody
disc
who's
offer.
never been in Disc Golf magazine.
I have been.
Dang.
It's the disc offer, I believe is what it's called.
Doesn't matter.
But regardless, not something like I get it in every month. I throw it away every month. or just
I
give us a
used to
digital
read it.
copy. Like
Well,
that should be something like that's an option.
Well,
save
yeah,
X amount of dollars.
Should be an option. I used to read it a lot, but nowadays I don't. Really.
Yeah. I do
should.
think this is probably the deepest Worlds field ever. I didn't fact check myself on there, but like, surely it's got to be one of them.
Here.
It's got to be one of the deepest world fields of all time because like the A pool cutoff's 1,004 rated, which rating obviously whatever, but it does mean there's some very solid players that are cut into the B pool this year. Like 1,004, that's a high ask. I tried going back and I couldn't find previous pools because the results it all mixes it.
I hate that they do that. You can't find tee times either.
Yeah, because I would have loved to like look at 2016 when Worlds was here last. Like, what was the rating cut between the A and B pool?
Might be able to do the math, but it would take a while.
Well, you know what? I'll rough estimate the math. You're right, Trevor. How lazy of me to not have done this last night. Way to call me out. I appreciate you.
I do appreciate that every once in a while, Trevor, you do just like you really, really mean to Hunter.
So there's 158 players. Okay.
Yeah. When is the?
Now this is gonna be a tough one. How am I gonna do this? How do I find the average in the middle here?
You want to borrow my TI-84?
Well, like, it's obviously below 1,000.
Because they cut it in half?
Let's just count how many above 1,000 rated players there were. 2,
Yeah.
4, 6, 8. They do cut in half.
Yeah, this should give us at least something.
There's 41.
That's not very many.
41 of the 158 players were above 1,000 in 2016. And now there's 213 players, and they cut the field in half, which I believe they do.
Oh my gosh, it's so much more.
Yeah, they cut the field in half, and 1,004 was a cutoff. So that's 105.
More than double.
Yeah,
We're saying
we went
it's-
from 40 to over 100 players, and that's above 1,004 rated.
Yes,
above
it's
100.
Even more. It's
There's
more
even
than
more.
more than double the strength.
Yeah, than the 2016 field. Because even if you look at the bottom, like there is Steven Penrod. What are we doing, man? 913 rated, playing Worlds. How'd that happen? But there is like
Call it in a
even
favor,
going
man.
down.
Call it in a favor.
Going down, there's a lot more even 990 rated players. Like there's a lot of guys that are 999,
field is so much
997.
deeper.
It's got to be one of the deepest MPO fields of all time, worlds wise.
The best thing is like going to like fields like that and sorting by PGA number and seeing how many guys started in like the last 3 years that are so much better than you.
Oh, let's see it. Let's do it. I'm gonna just look at my rating.
Your number and like how many are
I'm in the 7-7. So a lot of. Let me see if there's anyone that I'm better than that's above me in Worlds. Dallas Wrinkle and I are close.
But like there's guys that are like 10, 12 rated that their number is like in the 100,000s.
And that's it. Nope. Cade. Me and Cade are close. Brody Smith.
Brody's one of the
1022 rated. Well,
Brody.
Ezra Aderhold, his PJ number is 121, 715. It's 1028 rated. I didn't realize Ezra started that late.
I'm literally half of that.
Mine's 77807.
I'm not half that.
I'm better than like four people.
I am almost half of that.
I'm better than like 4 people that have newer PDJ numbers than me at Worlds.
I'm 63415.
Crazy. The other thing that's been pretty cool that Ultiworld came out with going in is...
We got to get our son's PDGA numbers, man.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not spending $50 a year for all these years until...
Like, you can wait. I'm just going to wait till a cool number pops up and try and get it.
I'm going to wait until he can play.
That
It's like, what if he
too.
just never wants to play a tournament?
He's a failure, dude.
Yeah, I would agree. But what if my son's a failure?
That's awkward.
I don't know where they like. So Ultiworld worked in collaboration with Stat Mando
Oh, yeah.
to do this like pro world betting contest. And so basically you can enter to win like some T-shirts and stuff or a prize pack.
They're giving you fake currency to bet on fake odds. But
they
it's cool.
have win percentages, which I thought was very interesting. I don't know how exactly they came up with them. And what's confusing is they have a model for MPO. They have a modeled win percentage and then a corrected win percentage. Which, did you understand that? Because I didn't. Because they changed drastically.
I'm assuming their modeled win percentage is probably has to do with like something that they created based on the season and maybe past worlds or something, and then maybe it just came out to a number that was a little
They didn't like it,
iffy, so they adjusted it to get like money lines that made sense. I don't know.
probably. But so Chris and Tatar, they have it a 35.2% chance to win.
I'd say that is very fair.
I think that's pretty accurate. And then Paige Pierce is at 14.8%.
What I find is weird is that for the no, I guess it's not weird that they're all plus odds because it is, after all. Well, I guess for FPO, it's a little like Kristen at plus 170. That's pretty good. I mean, you
bet 100, you get
bet
170.
100, you win 170. Kristen at those odds, and well, no, I should say what's crazier is Paige at plus 530.
Yeah, you bet 100, you win 530.
Yeah, like you'd have to be, if those odds actually existed, you'd have to be an insane person not to put a few bucks on Paige. Like plus 530 for somebody who's won, what, 5 world titles?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
And the craziest one, go down. The craziest one I saw on here was Conrad is at what? Plus 17,000? Is that what he's at?
Where's Conrad? Conrad's at 11,000.
11,000?
So you bet $100, and if he wins, you get $11,000.
You're telling me that, the guy who won last year and he's won 2 majors in his career, and you could win that? Like that's.
What about Simon Lizotte plus 3,400?
That's not these odds seem, and like, because maybe they're using a model based on golf betting, and I don't know, and maybe I'm just wrong, but like it seems to me that like, because like, yeah, winning a golf tournament is a lot more random than winning disc golf. Disc golf, we have not nearly as many repeated winners, especially in FPO, to where like if you're gonna give Paige, who realistically probably has like a 30% chance of winning, if you really think about it,
Probably.
and she probably has won 30% of the times this year. And if you're going to give her plus 530 with that good of a chance, that would be crazy. So like, yeah.
Well, it's because they don't have actual money in it.
Yes.
So you're not going to actually rob them blind.
Yeah, they're not actually lines makers.
Yeah. But this is what I thought was interesting. I was trying to figure out. I was like, Eagle McMahon in the modeled win percentage
Rick at plus 680
had 44.8% chance to win. But then in the corrected win percentage, they lowered him to 20% chance to win, but put Paul at 21.9%. And they have Paul 10% chance more likely to win than Ricky.
What? Why?
Yeah, in the corrected win percentage, they have Paul as the most likely player to win at 21.9%.
What?
And yet his odds. No, they just forgot to switch their spots.
No, they just didn't switch their spot. They
Okay.
like highlighted this as yellow for some reason. It says adjusted in the model due to a very low number of recent rounds, which
What
are
are
very
they
strong.
claiming is their reasoning behind that?
Probably the fact that he's come first or second in the last 10 years.
Is that all they looked at?
Maybe.
No, but I mean, he came second at the major this year. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Like if
It
you're,
doesn't make sense for him to have a better percentage chance than Eagle or 10% better
let's
than
think
Ricky.
about it this
Yeah,
way.
it doesn't make. That's what I'm looking at.
No, compared to
Ricky
the
should
other
be.
players.
Ricky should be. They
I
should all be
agree.
around 20%.
I agree. Ricky's is the most criminal one here because the fact that Ricky is like double you'd make double the money off of Rick than Paul, and at a course that Rick won at this year and has won worlds at before. That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
No,
And yeah, it gets even more shocking. Like
I don't think it gets more shocking than that.
Why?
I mean, Calvin Heimberg.
Simon at those odds.
Calvin Heimberg and Simon are both a little shocking.
If I had real money right now, I'd be spraying it all over this chart. Like I would be putting so much money on it.
Because $10
like,
on Simon, $10 would win you 340.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. I would take like the bottom half of this list and just put $10 on them.
I would take $100 and just put 10 across from Ricky down to yeah. You would make your money back.
Yeah.
Most likely. Because like chances are one of them wins.
You'd have good odds.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Crazy stuff. But yeah, I just thought the
Are
percentages
you
were
gonna
interesting.
play the game?
Should I play it right
We
now?
should do your submissions right now.
Should I do my submissions right now?
So what's the rule? How much
So let's
currency do
see.
you get?
Top players from each division sign future odds. You bet your 100 chips on whichever players you want, and if they win worlds, you win chips.
So you got 100
So
chips.
I have 100 chips. So I'm gonna just go.
Do you get for 100 chips for both MPO and FPO, or
Yes.
for each?
No. You must choose at least one. Otherwise, there's no limits on how many players you want. Please ensure selections do not exceed 90 as you be required to place at least 10
So
on
you
MPO.
get 100
combined.
combined, and you have to do at least 10.
Well,
on each
I'm only
division.
doing I'm doing the majority on FPO
Yeah.
because I can go.
I think the money's in FPO.
I think I go 50-30. I feel like Kristen or Paige is winning.
I mean, if you're
So
trying
that spends
to, if you're-
80.
if
So
you're
then
try-
I have 20 left, and I just throw 20 on Ricky.
yeah,
That's what I did.
nothing wrong with that.
So I put 50 on Kristen, 30 on Paige, and 20 on Rick. All right, let me fill this out. Did I place all my bets across to sum 100? Yes.
I just like, well, I
Yes.
feel like the only way you're probably going to win that thing, though, is if somebody like, because like how many people are probably going to tie for the win? Like, a
No,
lot of
but,
them.
well, some people are just going to put 90 on Paige or 90 on Rick.
That's probably what I would do.
What is my name? Trevor Staub.
Nice.
What is
'cause
my
it's not your
email
name.
address?
Trevor Staub.
Hunter
At
at.
trevorstaub.com.
I'm going to just put Trevor at foundationdisc.com.
He's actually putting in my information. I can't wait till this wins.
Submit.
I'm going to win $1 million ulti bucks.
There you go.
$multi-bucks.
There you go, Trevor. You are officially
just-
in the 2022 Pro World Betting Contest. How do you feel?
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Where-
Hunter,
Are you
can't
going
wait.
Disney
Super
World?
Are you
excited.
going to Disney World if you win?
If I win the betting contest, I'm going to Disney World.
All right, let's start breaking down who we
Why
actually
do I
think is going to
say
take
things
this.
like that?
Trevor, will you lower your mic?
I just lowered myself, really.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was
But I'm
Worlds
gonna
always
sit
provides
back up.
another level of like pressure and performance.
Get his tooth?
Right in the
Yeah.
tooth, dude.
Worlds always provides another
Mike.
level of like pressure and performance. So, I mean, I personally feel like this year feels most likely for someone quote unquote random to win.
Nah, dude.
Dude,
Like
I'm
the most
winning.
likely.
Joel
I'm
Freeman
so
is
ready
winning
for
Worlds this year.
predictions.
He could.
Joel Freeman's winning
Like,
Worlds.
What are you doing if
Because he
Joel
already
Freeman
got to
wins?
complain about the course once, so
What
he's
are you
already got it
doing
out of
if-
its system.
What are you doing if Joel wins?
Nothing. I won't even be surprised.
No, Trevor.
Okay.
He
If-
does this. He does this.
If Joel wins,
What will you do?
You gotta
You'll go
wear.
to-
You gotta wear a
no,
Joel
no.
Freeman outfit.
If Joel
for
wins,
a month
you
of
have
our
to go to
videos.
Emporia and dry up that creek.
with just a shop vac. You have a shop vac to stop the creek. No, if Joel wins, you have to wear a Joel Freeman outfit for the next month of videos.
no.
I like that he has to.
We
What does
don't-
Joel Freeman putt
we
with?
already have to take him. We already have to take him to.
What does Joel Freeman putt with?
we already have to take him to Peoria because of his Northwoods
Wait,
black
what?
tweet.
True.
What is the last? What was the last thing I had to do for a month in videos or something?
It didn't happen, but it was something.
What was it?
What was that? Because I was like, oh, I would do it in Vegas. Oh, sunglasses.
Yeah,
Oh,
Matty O
yeah,
won.
Matty
If
O.
Matty O won.
So if Matty O wins, you have to wear sunglasses.
Is that if
when
Matty
you're
O
holding-
wins Worlds? No. Yeah.
I think,
Was that
I
it?
think it was.
I think it was if Matty
Yeah.
O wins Worlds.
we put so many of these side bets up there for
Somebody's
so-
got to keep a track of these.
If
for
Matty
me.
O
Somebody
wins
just get a
Worlds
Google Doc
during-
for me and keep my bets in
But
it.
we decided it wasn't for Vegas because we want to be able to experience it.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna
if
for a
Matty O
month of
wins for the
video.
next month, you have to wear sunglasses in every video.
Yeah, that's how I was. Gonna
And
do.
if Joel Freeman wins, then you have to. It's just gonna have to be money. You're just gonna have to give us money.
No, I think if Joel Freeman wins,
yeah, it's just gonna have to be
Yeah,
money.
I can't think of anything else.
if Joel Freeman wins, I think you have to make a post about a local course, talking about the unfortunate course design that costs you around.
Yeah, you have to pick which course you're gonna do.
You have to, like,
no, I
take
think
a-
you have to do peaks.
You have to take a picture of like Hideaway or something, and be like, I was having the best round of my life today until this unfortunate course design.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not that bad.
That's not that bad
really
at
a
all.
punishment. That's just kind
Because
of funny.
if you pick like East or Hideaway, it's Coach.
it's not
that
gonna
designed it.
happen. I don't know why we're saying it's not gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Shut it.
I think that
Okay,
just to
fine,
add
that's
to it,
what
we
I'll
have to
do.
choose what course it's gonna be.
No, I think it's got to be like a Coach design course. So
Yeah,
then like
so
you can it's
I will-
either Hideaway or Falling Creek.
You
Oh, no, do the
dude,
hanging
I'm
basket
not
at
coming
East.
after a bed.
Hanging basket at East.
The hanging basket
That's
at
perfect.
East. Yeah. Because then it's
Okay.
funny because like
I think
obviously.
they're getting rid of the hanging basket if I remember.
Oh
correctly.
come on.
They're apparently redoing all of East finally, but I've heard that for the last like 6 years.
Well,
I've
you
been
know
in
they
the
I'm
started.
glad I had
you know
time
they
to
started
get-
the lake expansion.
I did, but that's Hideaway.
I'm glad I had
Hideaway,
time
yeah.
to get in my very first time ever doing somewhat okay out
It
there.
wasn't even good. Next.
It'll be interesting to see if Paul can keep his top 2 streak.
I think he
alive.
will. I think he will.
You think he will?
Yeah. You see that picture he posted the other day of him like in front of like the
Yeah.
projector on his face? He looked like he was a million years old. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that.
He looked like he was. Look at the picture right now. He looked like he was 100 years old.
Because it's harsh light, so it casts so
Yeah.
many
No,
shadows
it
on
was
his
like
face.
obviously he doesn't look old. It was just the lighting. Who's going to be the first disc golfer from that era to start getting the gray hairs? Because like Rory McIlroy yesterday, like he's not even that old. But
That
he's-
does make him
he's
look pretty
been-
old.
He's been playing touring disc golf for a while. And he's got some pepper going on, some salt and pepper action
Pepper.
in his hair, and it makes him look a lot older. And I'm wondering if Paul's going to have some grays coming in. You think Paul's a just for men guy? There's a little buzz going on all of a sudden.
Yeah, what
it's
the
my
heck?
computer. It's my.
Stop that. Oh. Yep.
You guys think Paul's who? If anybody's dyeing their hair on tour, who is it?
Anyone?
If there's somebody
Drew
out there
Gibson.
that's dyeing their
Yeah. Oh, but like
No,
right now?
Drew
right
Gibson
now?
would use like hair. He would get like hair transplant.
Are we
but I don't
saying
think
right
he
now,
is.
currently, or he's going
Right
to
now.
Kale LaVisca? That'd be my bet for right now.
Oh,
You think he's dyeing his beard?
No, I just think he dresses. He's very well kept, man.
that's
Ah.
that's
so
a
he
good,
like if there was someone
that's
on
a good
tour that
pick.
like would care enough about how good they looked, because Kale does look freaking good.
Whoa,
I think it'd be him. That beard, Kale with a beard.
Kale's a
It worked
good-looking
well
guy.
for him.
Kale's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
I don't think gray looks bad.
I don't
One
either.
of my best friends is my age, and he's got a lot of gray in his hair, and I think it looks cool.
No, gray definitely looks cool.
It
It makes you look old.
Do we think? Here's a second question I have. Do we think that Kristen Tatar is the biggest favorite that we've ever had going into a world championship?
Yes. No.
Has there been a bigger favorite previously?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like previously
Like
it
Ken
was
Climo
so
back
it
in the
was-
'90s. I think they were probably.
Okay, in our era.
I think
I was talking about
they were
FBO.
probably favoring that
I
guy
was
after
talking
he won
about
like 8 in a
FBO.
row.
No, I'm thinking combined. Like, is Paige or is
I feel
Kristen
like
a bigger favorite than like Paul was in the 2012, 13, 14 era?
I mean, I even feel like with Paige, like even in previous years, it was just so like she was so dominant.
I think
And
we're overhyping the Kristen thing because she had a big win last week, but
I feel like Kristen has like a solid like 40 to like to me Kristen won until she messes up. Like if Kristen goes out there and plays okay for her game, she's gonna win.
we do forget that like 2 weeks ago she didn't play good.
Yeah, but she came in second or third.
So I'm just saying, like I think we gotta pump the brakes.
I
a
refuse.
little. We gotta
I refuse.
pump.
Hit that
Evelina
gas.
Salonen
Hit the
is winning
gas.
worlds. I'm not pumping the brakes. No. Because I don't think this is a course that Paige is going to play well at.
He's going full throttle.
I'm scared.
If Paige doesn't play
Can I
good,
say that? I'm
yeah.
scared.
I don't think this is a course Paige is going to play good at. Katrina Allen's been falling off slightly. Evelina
Yeah.
Salonen still can't
I'll tell you
putt.
right now, you better watch out for Katrina Allen. She's been under the radar for too long.
She has been.
She's
If
gonna.
Katrina Allen wins, are you going steadies another year?
Katrina Allen,
No.
Paige
I
Pierce,
love just
Evelina
forcing
Salonen,
Trevor
Haley
into this.
King, Valerie Mandujano, they could all win. But I think it's Kristen Tatar's tournament to lose. Like if Kristen shows up and plays good, she wins.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
It's Missy Gannon, all the way.
Okay.
What are you doing if Missy Gannon wins?
No, I get to choose her pose for the PDGA website if she wins. I told her I would bet on
I think
her.
you have to post an Instagram picture of you doing the same pose side by side.
Oh, Photoshop them.
Yeah, show to fop it.
That'd be funny.
I may have just done that already without the bet.
I'm just giving you content ideas.
Who do you think? We're about to get into predictions here, so this might give away who you think's gonna win, but might not. Who do you think is the like crowd favorite, the player that the majority of people think's about to win Worlds?
Eagles.
Rick.
Yeah, I think it's Eagle or Rick. I don't know which one.
Well,
I think it's-
I mean that's a crazy statement. The crowd favorite's always Paul every time.
You think?
I don't think so.
I think the
anymore.
crowd favorite
I
is
don't
Ricky
think
this year.
I don't think that all the new players that came in recently.
Have you guys been paying attention to disc golf? Like Paul has the most following favoritism of any player.
But you think if you were to poll the disc golf community who's about to win Worlds, they'd pick Paul?
who's about to win Worlds? No,
That's
you
what
said
I
crowd,
just said.
You said crowd,
Crowd favorite to win.
Oh, crowd favorite to win. I thought misinterpreted. I thought you meant crowd favorite as in like
No,
who
not
they're
like
rooting
who's going to be
for.
the biggest crowd there.
Okay.
Like who do you think that most
Okay.
people in disc golf
Yeah.
thinks are going to win?
Oh,
I think
Rick.
Eagle.
Rick.
Yeah, I say it's Rick or Eagle for sure. I think it's probably
Let's find
Rick
out.
because I think people forget Eagle. I don't know. I think I just fixed it.
I see it. It's like laying over top the power cable.
I think I just fixed it. I didn't fix it. So going into Worlds, the points are currently at I have 111. Konner has 78. Trevor has 62. Remember, points for majors are doubled. So instead of getting 1 point if you're right in the top three, you get 2. Instead of picking where the person's right, you get 3. You get 6. And then the dark horse pick, you get 2. But we're actually doing something different for Worlds this week because of how deep the field is and everything.
I just tweeted the poll, so we'll get a live
Okay.
result.
Because of how deep the field is, the dark horse pick for this week, we went player outside the top 20. Anyone outside the top 20 you could pick as your dark
We
horse
wanted
pick.
there to be a chance.
And it still goes normal dark horse. So whoever wins gets 4 points. Whoever's dark horse pick comes in best. But if someone predicts someone's dark horse pick wins Worlds, they get a 20-point bonus. So that could make things interesting if it were to happen.
If it were to happen.
So let's just start with a dark horse
were
pick.
it to happen.
My dark horse pick for World Championships is none other
None other. The cow.
than Ezra Aderhold himself.
Ooh.
Love that man.
It's never going to be a bad pick.
I'm more going for just like a solid dark horse pick. Like I don't think he's gonna win Worlds, but I think he has a solid shot at winning my dark horse pick.
Yeah. I get that. Makes sense to me.
That's what I went for it.
My pick is Nate Sexton because he can throw forehands really good and he has won a major before.
Solid pick.
Yeah, like 60 years ago.
6 years ago, I think.
My
How about
pick.
you don't be mean?
How about you don't pick a grandpa? I'm just kidding.
Dude, he's gonna drive that electric truck, dude, all over the place.
Freaking Rivian. I think it's sick. Anyway, so my pick is Bradley Williams, and that is a good pick.
That's a good pick.
How'd
That is a
feel?
good pick.
How'd
That is a
feel?
good pick. Everyone has solid picks.
Early votes between Paul, Rick, Eagle, and other shows Rick leading Paul and Eagle, but other leading all categories. So a lot of people
People think Simon.
A lot of people are thinking Simon
A
or
lot
Chris
of people think
probably.
Simon. I don't think anyone's thinking Chris.
Well, they should.
Like most people are thinking Simon.
Well, they
I don't
should
think
be,
Chris
brother.
at these courses.
No,
They
yeah.
should be, brother.
Let's go
Or maybe Calvin.
FPO.
People think
FPO top
Calvin.
3.
FPO top 3.
Well, it's probably people just thinking the field is more likely to win.
Oh, I suppose if they're statisticians.
FPO top 3. Connor, you
Me?
look like you're jumping on it.
Connor, you're jumping all over it.
My FPO top 3 is going to be. I remember it. Number 3, Valerie Mandahano. I just like, it's favoritism, Team Foundation. I choose her to,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
So you picked Mason
want-
Ford to win as well?
yes. Yeah, I'll get into that later.
You said it.
He did. I'm writing it down.
No, don't write it down.
So you're a liar.
Yes.
Is he
so
lying or telling the truth?
shush. So yeah, Valman, and then in second I have Paige, and first I have Kristen.
Nice. Trevor?
Real original, Connor. Let me spice things up. I've got Paige in third,
Ooh.
Kristen in second, and Missy Gannon in first. Because
Why?
I said I would.
Simp.
I said I would for the. I said I had to bet on her if I could, and then she said that this is on my interview show. If you haven't watched it, I said if I bet heavily on you to win Worlds, and this is pretty heavily, can I? If you win, can I choose the pose that you do for the PDGA website? And she said I could. I'm doing my part. Now just win Worlds. Thank you, Missy. Next.
I'm taking Evelina Solon in third.
Okay.
I thought about that.
Paige Pierce second.
I thought
Okay.
about that.
Kristen Tatar first. The only reason I put Paige
You're
Pierce
just
in
copying
second
me,
because I
man.
don't think Paige is going to come in second by any means. But I think she's either going to win or come in like 10th.
She will come in second if everybody loses by like 10 strokes.
Yeah, sure. But
If the field gets crushed, then she may come
I feel like
I
either
think-
Kristen or Paige is going to win. I feel like Kristen's going to win more than I feel like Paige is going to win, so I put 1-2.
I want her in my top 3 for the points, but I don't think that Val is getting second. So
And then I guess I'll just roll with my MPO top 3. This one's an interesting one.
ooh.
I put Simon Lizotte in third,
If you choose the person I chose to win, I'm gonna be sad. 'cause
Ricky Wysocki to come in second,
Okay.
Whoa.
and Eagle McMahon to win,
Okay,
and win
alright.
Worlds.
Who'd you pick for third?
Simon Lizotte.
Okay.
I went Simon, Rick, Eagle.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's that wacky.
It doesn't have Paul in the top 2
Go
for
ahead,
the first
Connor.
time.
That's I would.
That's-
I didn't
that's
pay
what's
attention to
wacky.
that. I
That's
didn't
what's
even pay
wacky.
attention to
Go
that.
ahead, Connor.
I can't remember. Hold on.
You were all excited and you don't even know.
All I care about is my number 1.
Oh.
All right. I've got.
Yes,
Don't you dare
do-
change your.
It is
you
written
always,
down.
You always
do not
change,
change it.
You always change yours.
You wrote
just
it
go
down.
with what you
It's
picked.
because whenever I go to say it out loud,
No,
it just feels.
Say
There's
it.
no bad picks.
All right, fine.
Say his name. Say his name. Like no
I've
one is
got-
around.
I've got Eagle McMahon in third place.
Nothing wrong with that.
You're fine.
I really wanted to swap these two, but
No.
I decided not to. I went Paul to keep his streak in top
Swapping
2.
around second and third does like nothing.
I know, but I want to get it perfect.
It would be a lot of points.
And then my
Somebody goes perfect,
2022
that's crazy.
World's first place world champion, the best in the world,
He's gonna pick Simon.
Calvin.
Gannon Burr.
That's
Not a good pick.
It's not a good pick.
I hope he wins with everything inside me. I would love to see a 17-year-old world
I mean, I
champion.
do. Here's what I say, Connor. I do appreciate the originality.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wanted to be
He,
interesting.
He could very easily come top 3. No doubt in my
I
mind.
will
so
say
there's gonna be a
this.
moment whenever they're like, whenever everybody's like, oh my god, he might win.
He
I
very
will say-
easily could come top 3.
I will say that Gannon has been one of the I would say he's top 3 most consistent players this year, probably top 3 or 4. And we are playing 5 rounds of disc golf.
Yep.
So
I wanted to, if that's entertaining.
It's just the fact that you
pick.
don't have Ricky or Simon in your top 3.
Guess what? Didn't have room for him because I was too busy filling it with Gannon.
all right. My picks, I have Eagle in 3rd as well. I have Ricky in 2nd. I have Paul in 1st. Because
Sick.
why not? Just throw good names in the top 3.
Yeah, there's nothing
points.
wrong
No, there's
with picking the right
there is no
people.
wrong answer here.
Well,
Except for Gannon Burr. I'm just kidding. Gannon's going to win.
you guys are going to get
No,
lit up,
Gannon's
dude.
going to... How many world titles do you think Gannon ends his career with?
2.
It starts.
Only 2?
Starts now.
I think he gets
He's
at
got
least 3.
so
I think he
many
gets at least 3
years of disc golf.
He has about 20 solid years of disc golf. ahead of
Eagle,
him.
we said that about Eagle when he was like 18, and Eagle has how many world titles right now?
Well, it's only been
About to
2
be
years
one.
since then.
Siddle.
It's only been 2
He's
years
what?
since
He was
then.
what? Like 22?
I'm just saying, like from year 2012, Rick was a threat for the world title. How many titles does he have at 29?
2. And he still has 8 years ahead of him. He could get 3 this weekend.
Listen,
Eagle, how old is Eagle?
I'm 100, dude. Last week,
think
I'm
he's-
pretty sure
I
last
don't
week
know
I
how old he is.
said, what did I say last week? Or I said, who did I say would have more world titles than Paul at the end of their career? I think it was Rick.
You did say Rick.
Yeah,
I
you
forget
did.
it was. No,
Eagle is 24.
That's
You
a
did
hot
say
take.
Rick.
That's a hot take.
if I actually had to put a number for, my prediction is based off of, yes, over the next like 5 years, I would say it's a good chance Gannon gets one of those 5, but then give it another 5 years, and I think this sport is just flooded with competitors. I
I
think
think that makes sense.
I think that winning world titles, literally within a 3-year stretch, winning worlds got this much harder, like so much harder. Think about another 3 years and another 3 years. Like these guys,
Yeah,
that
but
are-
the best player in the world is still going to have a solid shot. I'm not thinking he's getting 5 or 6, but at 3, I think he gets at least 3.
okay, so you don't think you think he's getting 3 or 4, and I said 2, and that was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be clear on what we're actually talking about here. Okay, because I could say 2 or 3. How's that sound? 2 or 3 sound better?
Better.
Okay, 2 or 3. Hunter says 3 or 4. I say 2 or 3. 3.
Let's agree on 3.
3.
3 sounds like a good number.
3 is a magic number.
Like that, he wins one in the next. Like he wins one every 5 years, basically, for the rest of his
yeah,
career.
I like that.
And he wins
yeah.
3. How many think Ricky ends
Triangle.
with? Real, like, not making a hot take. How many you think Ricky actually ends with?
I think, well,
2.
if he wins
You
this
think
year,
he wins another one?
I'm just kidding.
I think Ricky ends with 3.
if he wins
I
this
would give-
year,
yeah,
I
I'd
think
give
he
him another one.
wins. I think he wins 5 in his career.
So you think if he gets to 3, he gets to 5?
If he gets to 3 this year, he wins 5.
I think he ends at 3. He either wins this year or he wins in the next 2 years, and then I don't think he wins after that.
Tough to say.
All right, so in
Does
2
Paul get another Worlds? If Paul doesn't win this year,
I think he gets one more in general. I think he wins one more title. If he wins this year, he wins 2.
Connor doesn't think he wins
if he
anymore.
wins, if he wins
I don't
this
think he
year,
wins
he wins
anymore.
2. If he doesn't win this year, he gets one
the
more.
question is how much
ever.
longer is Paul's career?
that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
That's the hardest thing about this is because like
I think he's
who's
gonna-
Paul is 32 years old.
they're like you can keep if you keep your body in shape.
Well, he's got to at least.
But he's just signed a 10-year, $10 million
I was about to say,
deal.
he's got
He's
to
gonna
play
be
for at least
playing.
that long.
But no, I'm saying if you keep your body in shape, you can throw competitively far. Like there are MLB pitchers that are throwing so hard in their like.
But it's
mid
more
to
just
upper
like-
Yeah, but disc
30s.
golf's way harder though.
Well, it's more just the tour grind on your body.
Yeah,
Like how long do you want to do it?
Well, yeah, well,
When you're getting $1 million a year.
well, yeah. So, but like in 10 years, like he's gonna be he has to play till he's what 39, 38 with that contract. So we're gonna see.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see. So I have no idea how long his prime will last. I think he'll towards the end of that contract he'll get more selective about what events he goes to. But it's hard for me to say that Paul won't be competitive into his upper 30s at majors. Like maybe he's not like he's that guy that
He's like Phil.
Yeah, right. Like because like even Phil like he just won the Open a few years ago or was it last year? Last year I think it was. I think it was
Yeah,
last
it was
year.
last year, 2 years
because he's
ago.
just like there are certain guys who know how to win at the highest level, and like when they get that magic spark, they can win in golf. So yeah, I wouldn't write him off.
Final 2 questions. Kristen Tatar, 0-time world champion. How many worlds does she get?
How old is Kristen? She's got to be in her upper 20s.
Kristen Tatar. She does not have a Wikipedia page about her. Dang it.
I had to place her. I would place her at like 27, 28.
She's 30.
And she's won none.
0-time world champ.
I gave her 2 world titles.
Well,
2.
I
Okay.
have a question. How long has she been playing? Because we haven't really. I might be wrong, but I don't feel like I've heard her name until this
Since
year.
2014 was the first time she ever played an event.
Yeah, but
She played the Estonian
she's only
Championship
been
and
around
won.
since what, 2019, 2018?
2015. She did a lot in Europe.
Yeah.
It feels So it feels like she came out of nowhere for us.
Last year,
and started.
well,
playing
last
top.
year is when she really put herself as like, I'm a top 3 player, but she had been around before last year.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like the first time she would have played a tournament we would have known. 2017, she came in 7th at U.S. Women's. But that was the only. She also came in 6th at the European Open. So those are the only 2 she played in 2017. 2018, she came in 4th at U.S. Women's.
8th at Worlds.
3rd at European. No, that's not
What
it.
was
8th at Worlds. That's the wrong European Open. European Open didn't happen that year. 4th at Konner Day. When did she win U.S. Women's? Was it 2019? 2019, she started touring.
She started, yeah. So that was okay.
So 2019, then obviously 2020, because 2019 is the year she won U.S. Women's. So that's when you heard about it. You've heard about her for 3 years.
What's the stat?
And the final question:
Okay,
Paige Pierce, how many does she end up with?
That's
She's
crapshoot.
37 years old. Well, this says 31. Somewhere else said 37.
She's not 37.
She's 31.
No way
She's
she's
definitely
37.
31.
Yeah.
If you search Paige Pierce age, I wonder if it's still
That's so funny. Somebody thinks she's 37.
about 31. No, Katrina Allen's 37. That's what it said on Google. Paige Pierce, 31.
She's got 5 right now.
She's got 5 right now, 31 years old.
She could end up with 8.
8.
The FPO field is just.
Wait, did we say how many Kristen's going to end up with?
2? I said
2. I agree with 2. I think 2 is a fair number.
I feel like that feels good.
Paige could.
I think she goes back to back. I think she wins this year and next year, Kristen.
The
I kinda get
FPO
that.
field just isn't.
It's getting there,
It's
but
getting
it's not.
there, but it's not happening as quickly as the MPO field, to where like Paige could realistically play out. Paige could realistically play out of her 30s still as a top 10 player, very easily. She could do it.
Yeah.
So at least the way things are looking right now. So that's
None of us have the 2 world champions from last year in our top 3 for this year. It's very
Correct.
interesting.
I thought about.
That's
I
crazy.
don't feel convicted about it.
Well, I had Katrina in mind until I was like, oh yeah, I need to put Missy as my winner. But then, yeah, James, no. But I wouldn't. It's not going to shock me if Conrad almost wins or wins.
I don't
If
like
he
him on
does
these
win, you
courses.
punt with nomads for a year.
I just took the nomads out of my bag, man.
Yeah, it's too soon, Connor.
Yeah.
You saw what
Listen,
happened.
we gotta find you new putters today.
I already got them
Okay.
in my bag.
Judges.
PA3s.
Smart man.
Went bag.
Did you have some good ones?
Mm-hmm.
Had some good.
Had some memories.
Some good.
I have a question
Also,
for you
if I
guys.
decide to throw, I have 2 more 2014 Proto PA3s that are the best throwers. And they're just sitting on my shelf if I want to throw them.
I have a question for you guys.
I have
This
an
is
answer
not
for
related
you
to
guy.
Worlds. This is just disc golf related.
Well, good, because we're about to transition out of Worlds.
You mind if I do it right now?
Yeah.
Transitioning out of Worlds, seamless transition.
We're actually not, because the trivia is going to be Worlds related.
Dang it.
What part of your game would you sacrifice to make every inside the circle putt? 100% inside circle putt to sacrifice part of your game.
My
Like-
forehand.
I was about to say, would you sacrifice your forehand? You can't.
No,
throw
I'd
forehand.
sacrifice my overhand.
Yeah, I was going to say I would just sacrifice
yeah.
an overhand.
I mean, I was. It's not like a trick question where like.
Nah,
you
I'd
break the
sacrifice my
system.
roller. Wouldn't be able to throw a roller.
No, I'd rather have a roller than an overhand.
I think I'd rather have an overhand than
I
a
say
roller.
like I can't throw a raptor. Like I like my part of
You know, I'd sacrifice my mini.
Probably my scuba.
I couldn't mark my disc.
my turbo putt.
No, are you saying like
If
big
I
part
actually
of
had to
your
get rid of
game?
like
Yeah.
backhand or forehand, I'm not getting rid of either. It wouldn't. I just would lose.
You wouldn't get rid of your forehand to.
No,
make
I wouldn't have as much. I
100%
wouldn't have as much
inside-
fun playing disc golf.
Oh,
I would get rid
I
of-
didn't realize disc golf was about fun to you.
If I could be 100% C1X and 50% C2, I'd get rid of my forehand.
I would have to agree with you.
And I'd be a lot better player.
Yes, completely.
I just can't imagine like not being able to scramble.
Wouldn't matter. You just got to get within 50 feet now. 60 feet. and I
Yeah,
had
but
50%
like
chance of
sometimes
making
like you just can't throw a backhand.
Yeah,
Like,
but I
when
think
you've
you,
got
like-
one of these step outs. Like, what are you gonna do?
it. Jump putt out and then just get to 60 feet.
Well, but he said inside the
You
circle.
have a scramble.
okay, I step
You have
out.
scramble shots less often than you have putts.
Wait for this. Step out thumbers. Throw it like a forehand, like a flex forehand. Same exact thing. Just go into
I think
a
it's
thumber.
just one of those things where
Would you take
the rules are
would
a
you
little too
lose?
complicated here.
Would you take 50 feet off of your distance for?
That's a better
Absolutely.
question.
I don't
50
even
feet
know
off
what
your
it's
distance.
for, but if I gain something in my game and only go from throwing 425 to 375, I'm losing that every time.
75 feet
For what? Putting?
for inside 100% C1.
100% and 50?
Yeah.
I just hate the idea of losing distance because I don't really have that much to begin with. Terrifies me.
So I throw 350, but I basically never miss a putt. Yeah, I'm taking that.
Inside the circle.
I'm taking that.
You have to take it if you want. If you want to be
Yeah.
a competitive disc
Yeah,
golfer.
it depends on if
350
you
is
want.
plenty of distance. That's fine.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd just be so sad when there's like a water carry that now you just can't make it. And it's like it would take a lot of fun out of disc golf for me. It'd be fun that you'd make all those putts, but like you get to this awesome that whole
It'd be fun
eagle
when you're
downhill
rolling dough, dude.
at North Cove, like you wouldn't get there.
Well, how far could I throw downhill, though?
The same amount of
350
power.
power. So, like, I could get close. I could get to 60 foot.
You freaking rip the crap out of that disc to park it. Like,
Yeah.
If you lose 75 feet of distance,
Take 75 feet off that disc. I'm still within 60 feet short, so I got a 50% chance of making it.
you were pin high. You
That
take
was
70
deep. That was like circle's edge deep,
Okay.
right?
I don't remember. Doesn't matter. This is a dumb.
It's time for
argument.
fan
I was
favorites
just-
and
I was
Trevor
just-
trivia.
Connor, dude,
Yeah.
you always get us stirred
Yeah.
up, bro.
Hey,
You always
hey,
get us stirred
hey,
up, dude.
Hey, hey, hey,
Don't you know not to ask
hey,
us questions?
Who
Trevor's
runs
trivia.
the world? Worlds.
Trevor's trivia.
Let me transition back into worlds real quick.
Yes. Who runs the world? Worlds.
Worlds,
This
just
is-
wanna have fun.
This is gonna be the game. The game is
Some boys
Connor is
take
being assigned MPO,
beautiful
Hunter is being
worlds
assigned
in-
FPO.
Okay.
To kind of
Wait,
balance
will you
it
say
out.
it again? I was singing.
You have
Being-
MPO, I have FPO.
Hunter is
Okay,
FPO.
okay,
One at
okay.
a time.
People
I'm-
like when we talk all at the same time.
One at a time. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to go back, start from
Oh,
last year, and
gosh.
name as many world champions in backwards order as possible.
I
Wait, what
lost.
do you mean in backwards order?
I'm going to let Hunter go first.
Katrina Allen.
Ready?
Wait, how many times do I have
You
in
get
between?
10 seconds. Ready? No, you literally to name as many back as you can. Go.
Katrina Allen, Paige Pierce, Paige Pierce, Valerie Jenkins, Katrina Allen,
Your time's up. before
Sarah
that one.
Hokum, Paige
You made
Pierce.
it 5 back. Was that correct?
I don't know. You were supposed to be fact checking me.
Well, I feel like
I just said
more,
Paige like 5 times.
I think it'd be way more. I think it was way more funny if you said them all, and then we could go back and look because I
Okay.
didn't want to just like in the middle of one. So
I
you
don't
could-
remember
all right,
the
ready?
years. I don't remember the
Ready?
years. Okay,
Connor, ready,
I'm
set,
ready.
go.
I'm ready. James Conrad, Paul Macbeth, Ricky.
Time.
Oh, sorry.
You
Dang
got
it.
2.
I was trying to. Wait, how far?
I messed up on.
I got confused
It was
whenever it was go.
Barsby.
I missed Paige Shoe.
Dang it! I was going to go Barsby next.
I missed the same one. I missed
Oh.
Paige Shoe. It
What-
goes
so-
Cat, Paige, Paige Shoe, Paige, Val.
I thought
So you only
Barsby-
got 2 as well.
I got, well, if you count Val, Paige, Cat.
No,
I
how
got
many
4.
did you get in order before you missed
2.
one?
I went Kate.
So we
both messed up the
we need a
2018.
tiebreaker.
I was gonna
Okay.
go Barsby 2017.
Okay, what I'm gonna do? Wait, close this real quick.
We both messed up the 2018 Worlds.
All right, what I'm gonna
Hmm.
do now is I'm gonna give you a year. You're still MPO, you're still FPO, and you have to name
gosh.
first one to name the world title champion
Oh,
correctly
dang.
wins. Ready? 2004.
Ken Climo.
Elaine King. I mean, why would you go that far back?
To make it
Barry
hard,
Schultz.
to give you a chance.
You want to know who won in 2004? Brigada Lagerholm.
Who won?
Brigada Lagerholm won in 2004.
Who
You
won
can't-
for MPO?
I don't know.
Because that's important for Connor. What did you
I
say?
just- Ken Climo.
You said Climo. I think it was Doss.
Oh dang! I forgot Nate Doss existed.
Where is men's
Never
Worlds?
forget Nate Doss.
No, it must be above women's up here.
I'm so mad. I was going Greg Barsby for 2017.
It was
but
Barry.
it was 2018.
It
2004 was
Barry.
Barry Schultz.
Oh,
All
I
right,
said-
give me
I
another
said
one.
that for
All right,
myself.
here comes another
Tiebreaker.
one. Here comes another one. 2007.
Des Redding. No,
Missed it again.
I surely.
2007. I think that might be Doss. Is it?
Yeah, it was Dawson Jenkins. It was their first. It was when
Connor,
they won
dude,
together.
You win, Connor, dude.
Des Redding won 2006. I was close.
I was given such the advantage there.
Des
but I'll
Redding
take
won
it.
her. Des Redding won her third in 2006.
It's so funny.
Brigada Lagerholm. Like,
Who the frig is Brigada?
what happened
You
to
guys
her?
don't have one of her T-shirts?
Does she still play?
You
She-
Brigada have
You
skills like
gotta
Brigada.
be kidding me.
she's from Sweden. We've had a Swedish world champ,
Dang, man.
Brigitte. Not Brigitte. Brigitte Lagerholm.
Forget a life, dude.
Get the crap out of here.
Let me tell you guys about this app.
Okay.
I found.
Page,
Yeah, what
Val,
is this?
Page,
Yeah.
Page, Cat, Val.
Hey, if I said only first name, did I only say Paige? First name?
Oh!
I meant Paige Pierce, so I'll take the L. But I technically got it right.
Win, brother.
No, you do. You can win. Let's share it. You want to tie?
No.
All right. I win. Then.
So this app, like
Instagram?
an Instagram ad came up for this app called SenseBlend.
That
And
sounds like
I didn't
drugs.
understand what the heck it was. It popped up and it was a video and it said we had some news and like it was saying they're
hypnotize
available.
you.
And so basically,
Are you doing a read right now?
No,
I'll murder you, dude.
I'm not doing a read.
Okay.
I thought this was crazy. So you wear your watch and basically
I'm gonna
I
need to see those
misunderstood it.
DMs, bro.
I misunderstood it. No, because I think this is one of the cooler like develops in technology.
Bro, if we get off this and you have
You
a
wanna look
DM
about-
from them and they paid you,
They did not pay me. I DM'd them and asked them for more information on how their app worked because I didn't understand it. And then once they explained it, I thought it was fascinating. That's it.
so you were just trying to work a deal.
So you can use
No,
Hunter's,
I just was curious what this app was.
you can use
All right.
Hunter's affiliate link.
I think I would have been proud if you would have done that. Yeah, you could like go to like hunterthomas.com/senseblend.
No, I
right,
would
tell us
love
about-
for them. So basically, you wear your watch,
Yeah.
right, on your right hand, or if you're left hand, you wear your left hand. And when you go to throw, what it seemed like is before you throw or before you putt, you like do this motion to like let them know I'm about to start my motion. Then you throw, and it tracks the motion using the accelerometer in the app to track what your throw did.
You do this on your Apple Watch, or you need
Your Apple Watch, and then it's on there. And what it does though is it tracks. So like, let's just use a putt. I do that, and then I do my whole putting motion. And then what you do is once you have one, you're like, that was it. That's a good putt. You let the app know. Okay, that was it. That's a good putt. And what it does is it uses the accelerometer, and you wear headphones, and it plays audio
to time it?
for you to time it over and over.
People practice
Interesting.
putting in golf. Like you'll see them on putting greens with headphones in because they use a metronome to practice putting. That is a thing.
So this will it played the sound, and basically like you do your wrist and it goes and it gets like increasingly loud to when you release is like the
I
loudest.
feel like it would throw me off. That's interesting.
So like it
intrigued.
allows you to get the timing. So when you're and it does the same for like a backhand or forehand. When you have your timing right, so like allows you to learn how to replicate
This
that
is
timing
the
you
crap
got
I'm
before.
talking about when people say that like AirPods, like how could that ever be cheating? This is the crap I'm talking about. Imagine you've got a guy out there on the course with AirPods in. You assume he's listening to Kevin Jones front run, net run, back nine, front nine. But really, he's out there with a timing app, timing his putt. Like that's why I say that AirPods are a slippery
or with
slope.
like insider information, like make this putt.
Yeah.
So
What if the
no,
guy's
it
like,
says-
hey man, you should make this putt, and then he knows.
So they said they've built a system that collects movement data and it's not available yet. It's still in beta testing. But you can apply for beta testing on their website. But
You're a
they built a
beta dude.
Well,
system
like a beta to
that
you?
collects movement data and converts it into an abstract yet guiding sound. So imagine you're putting. Each putt is collected from start to finish. You then tell the app which putts were good ones when everything feels right. As you continue to putt, you keep feeding it with the good ones, and the app creates a golden reference off of all the liked throws. So what you're able to do then is to guide you with sound. So imagine you performed a putt with a bit more hyzer, then the references, the guiding sound pans over to your left ear, opposite for Anheuser. So as you practice, you're getting more data. So like if your wrist turns more,
Oh, that's so
it'll
cool.
pan to your left ear to let you know, hey, that was a little more hyzer.
Oh my god,
That is so.
See, I
cool.
want that. I want
that.
that app to be able to interpret my game and make it into art, maybe an NFT.
So it's
Yes.
called Sense Blend because it says imagine. So it's basically like you're
You're blending the
incorporating another
senses.
sense into your throw.
Sound.
It's a new kind of
That is very
biofeedback
cool.
system.
Dude,
That is
that's
very cool.
so sick.
I don't know. I just saw it was
Are
advertised.
you getting in the beta?
I'm gonna try it. Yeah, so I'm gonna
Dude.
try it out. I gotta find my
Dude.
app or my
Dude.
Apple Watch.
Dude.
But yeah, it looked pretty cool because like basically when you're doing field work, then you could like know that was a good one and know how to replicate
That
it
is
timing
awesome.
wise.
That is awesome.
And then because like there was a thing back in the day where someone was
that sounds
trying to
so
develop a putting program, and they put this thing on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
For you, they're like, we just need a bunch of testers to test our putting program. And it was basically like a mental putting thing.
I remember this.
And I did it. So
Mm-hmm.
I applied for it. And like step one was you had to change your putter. They're like, you need to get rid of the history of your old putters, change your putter. But then a part of it,
Can't do that. I'm in a bed.
as you were building it up, one of the things was it told you to come up with like a key phrase to say in your mind that timed it. So you'd start here and whatever it was, I forget what mine was. Mine was like something rocks. Maybe it was disc golf rocks or something because I had like a 3-part putt. So I was like syllable 1, syllable 2, syllable 3.
Yeah.
And you just repeat that every time you putted. So then when you get on the course, you'd have that same timing. And so as long as you're like boom, 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 then it gave you something to take your mind off the putt and put your mind onto the timing that you had nailed down in all your
Very
practice.
true. Rhythm and tempo is something that's not talked about. People talk about timing so much in disc golf, but they forget to talk about rhythm and tempo when that is how you achieve timing. And it's like in golf, it's huge. Like literally, like I said, like people putt with metronomes next to them and time the doot, 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 like to their, pull back and striking the ball and whatnot. But yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know.
Makes
Sense
sense. Sense blend.
Something about.
I'm excited.
And be sure to use my code 110.
That would have been so fun.
While you were talking about that, I came up with a very good idea
Let's hear it.
for a video. We should do, you guys play disc golf with ankle weights on your wrist.
Oh, on the wrist.
Weighted.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
That would suck.
Yeah, your shoulder would
I
surely
also,
break.
I also
Forehand
just thought of another idea,
Okay.
which is that we play disc golf with like really nice headphones on, and then the other person has control of what goes into them. Only to a certain volume, but like you're about to putt, and then just like some fart noise kicks in or something. Like
I would just have tons of voice memos lined up, and I would just rattle them off.
all right.
Final story that we got to talk about really quick was UC Maresma broke some news last week. He posted on Instagram and said, "This is the hardest message I've ever written. I've committed a crime. They'll have consequences for me, my family, and my company. I've been convicted of buying sex from an adult in Sweden. What I did was horrible and wrong. I have cruelly broken the trust of my family and all people who know me. There's absolutely nothing that supports the action I did, and I take full responsibility for it. I've started to take action to help for my problem. My goal is now to support my mourning family. This is the only time I'm going to talk or comment on this incident in public, and I'll not comment on my personal life any farther. I'm taking a leave of absence to try to be with my family. I'm truly sorry for everyone I've hurt with this." Discmania also released a statement saying, "An unfortunate action has been taken by UC Maresma as an individual in Sweden in May. UC's action do not reflect our company's values on any level. Spin 18 and Discmania do not support any criminal activity. Because UC's action do not represent our organization's core values, UC will be taking an extended leave of absence to focus on his family and his well-being. He will take full responsibility for his actions. UC's been convicted by the Swedish court, and he's been punished accordingly. What he did was wrong, and we do not condone such behavior." So, bring that up, because we're a disc golf show, and it was pretty big news. I don't think we actually have to talk about anything that he did or whatever, repercussions from that. But I do think what's going to be interesting going forward is Discmania's in this limbo period right now where they're developing new molds, coming out with new plastic, constantly doing new releases and stuff like that, and kind of like rebuilding their originals line. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty crucial time for the leader of your company and the founder, the visionary, to have to step away. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Discmania over the next few. It doesn't say how long his leave of absence is.
I'm sure it'll be a while.
It'll be interesting during that time frame, because at first it's easy to keep the same vision and everything moving in the same direction when the visionary leaves, but over time you can start to whoever takes that spot, becomes a decision maker, can start changing things slightly, and Discmania could slightly change. I don't know, it's just gonna be an interesting one to watch. Now that this has been made public, we all know what's going on. It'll be interesting just to see how Discmania reacts moving forward, and if there's any noticeable difference with quality, or if they hold disc releases until is he still doing disc approvals from home, right. Or it's good. I don't know. It's a very interesting one to watch. Just something to kind of keep on the radar. I don't think it's something that has to be talked about really beyond that, unless someone else has something to say. But I just think it's gonna be interesting to watch Discmania moving forward, because now that we know
there's a developing situation, really.
Yeah, the founder, visionary, really stepped away.
There's not really an opinion to have on it.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason you think that's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And in which case I would be confident telling you were wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. But there it is. Discmania ends it up. World Championship starts tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Jeez, we've arrived. It's here. It's time. Game time. You can watch it live on the Disc Golf Network. I believe PDGA members
You're gonna want to see Gannon Burr win his first Worlds.
Yeah, I believe PDGA members get the final 2 rounds of Worlds for free.
Wow.
I don't know if they're
where our
doing
money's
final
going.
round free on YouTube.
Oh,
That would suck. But I don't know if they are or not.
They should.
Because, but PDGA members, you can watch them anyways. So PDGA actually just put something out recently that showed you how to get access to it. Redeem free PDGA member access to select content. So if you're a PDGA member and you don't already have that, it shows you there's like an article on the PDGA that shows you step by step how to do it and get your free coverage and all that. Also, this Saturday for the MPO final round, we'll be doing a companion stream. So you can have us up in one tab, the World's coverage up in the other tab, and watch disc golf right alongside us. We'll have quite a bit on the line. I believe as of right now, it's a $250 Amazon gift card that's on the line.
Yeah.
So pretty electric. We'll have, just some fun times, little side bets going on. We'll explain it more kind of as the week goes on, but that's going to be happening Saturday when we'll start the live stream probably like 5-10 minutes before the lead card tees off. And we hope to see you guys in the chat, hang out with us, watch some World Championship. It's probably going to be a tournament you're not going to want to miss.
You're never going to want to
never going to give you up. That's
Who
that's
runs
the theme.
Worlds?
That's how it's ending.
I love that.
Sing us out, Konner.
Who runs this mother Worlds?